Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dan's Veggie Patch. This time around, we're going to take a look at a real bug, what I'm told is a real bug. And I'm doing a little shift, and I'm going to tell you how and why. And then we'll go take a look at the garden and see what's going on in there. So hang around and check it all out. Here's a beneficial insect in the garden. The old ladybug out here. I guess she's hiding out looking for aphids or something interesting. Oh, there's another one. Wow. So they're out. Good thing. Glad to see them. Oh, here we are again. And I started last time with a spot on what I do when I don't have enough water to try to conserve. Well, since the last time I recorded, we have had about a little over actually 6 inches of rain in what, a week and a half, a little over that. So I don't have to worry about that so much right now. Pickle barrels are pretty much full even without gutters. The only thing I was worried about was my cell trays that I sow the new stuff in. You know, I'm constantly trying to make sure that they're not holding water and they're getting waterlogged. So anyway, last time I showed you a bit of the damage of the turnip greens and a little bit into the brassicas. I'm going to show you now what's causing that and what I can do about it. This is a harlequin bug. Yeah, that was too easy. This is what's been eating up my turnip greens and causing such a ruckus. Probably that and flea beetles in here. But I did some research on harlequin bugs, which I'm going to share. Now, from what I had read, the reason they're actually a bug, if I remember this right, is they actually do have a hard exoskeleton and probably a couple other things bug-wise, but they also secrete this nasty kind of tasting apparently things that makes birds not want to eat them. So they're especially tough to get rid of. When the females lay the eggs, they're little bitty barrel-shaped black and white eggs, and they lay them in groups of 2, maybe a dozen of them, 6 groups of 2 down the back of a leaf, and it's kind of impressive that they can do that. And not only that, they can count to 12, you know, just lay them out like that. And so, as far as what I can do for them, I'm checking more frequently now that the turnip crop is shot. And I'll have to harvest those turnips. But some of the brassicas, and actually they eat a lot of stuff, tomatoes as well, asparagus. But what I'll be doing a lot more frequently is checking the undersides of those leaves for those little black and white eggs. And if I find any, along with any adults, or any of the little nymphs, they look the same, similar, only smaller. You just pick them off and throw them in a little soapy water, and you're good to go. So that's going to take some time on my part, but it'll be worth it in the long run. Here's a quick little video of a little something that I'm not sure what it is. I have not been able to ID it yet. But boy, it's a voracious eater. And this really helped wipe out the turnips as well. And I did the same thing, and you'll see I did the same thing with the soapy. Now, one of the recommendations I read was to plant what's called a trap crop near to a crop you want to save or have do well in order to bring all the insects to this one spot and thereby eradicate them or make eradication easier. And as it turns out, this is what this bunch of turnip greens ended up being, was a trap crop for, I guess, the harlequin bugs and the flea beetles and such. It got pretty wiped out. But on the other side, the cabbages right next to them are actually doing fairly well. So perhaps inadvertently, I did the right thing. Well, with all the rain we've been getting, Renee and I have had to really start giving the garden a haircut. Actually, more of a makeover. Well, you know, I could do those classic Looney Tunes clips all day long. Maybe it's not so much a makeover, it's just a general neatening up and keeping clean, like in the kohlrabi here. I'm going to make sure that there's no leaves that are sitting on the ground or that the snails and the slugs can get to. Also, any leaves that are old and dying and aren't really contributing to the plant. I just kind of break off, clean up. Keep the pads clean. Here's one in here. A couple in here that are dead, yellowed. So it's just a matter of going around and keeping it clean underneath. And that'll help the bug problem as well. Plus, it really helps the garden to look neat and clean, or as Charles would say, tidy. Now here's a shot of Renee cleaning up the turnip greens from all the damage that the bugs did. She's having a good time. I think she might even have her scissors out there with her. Lately I've done a lot of thinking about what I want to do with the garden and the things in it, how I want to handle that kind of stuff. And I used to be a realtor. I had my realtor's license at one time, and within the last couple of weeks I've had occasion to work with a realtor on house hunting, and he used a phrase during our conversation that I recalled that I hadn't thought about for a long time, and that phrase was highest and best use. And the way I apply it here was for highest and best use of this particular hunk of property. It used to be that I would just go ahead, or Renee actually would go ahead and mow it weekly, and we would come out here and look at it every once in a while, and that'd be about it. Now, since I put the work in to creating a garden, something that will definitely feed us and, you know, potentially feed others as well, just for fun. In this case, this particular spot, I think I have found the highest and best use for this little bit of property here, which is growing a really nice garden. It's coming along very well. But when Chad was talking to me, thank you, Chad, for this, by the way. I'm glad you mentioned it. Highest and best use, really the first thing that hit my mind was highest and best use of my time. And I got to thinking, you know, Renee and I already have a full-time business that we're working, and it takes time to go out and find the stuff that we do and create what we do and sell it. So I decided that the highest and best use of my time did not include sitting out 4 hours in the morning on Saturday at the farmer's market, hoping somebody will come by and buy a bag of lettuce or a cucumber or two. So I'm not going to be doing that. So I'll still be doing these videos though, because I enjoy doing them. But my goal for this is not to sell everything that I have left over anymore. Matter of fact, we've been meeting neighbors and giving them away, which is great. Well, I'll tell you something. The old brains really put a lot more at ease now that I made that decision not to really pursue any serious commercial enterprise as far as the veggie patch goes. I can just enjoy it with friends and family and have a good time. So, speaking of the veggie patch, let's see how that sowing I did a couple weeks ago is coming along. Here's the results of my sowing for the early summer stuff. Not impressive, I gotta say. The beets are okay, and I'll have enough for a few. Leeks are actually doing pretty well. I drew the collar on the bell pepper, 0 for 24. Nothing came up. No cilantro came up again. Eggplants did fine. Got lots of eggplant. So hopefully they'll grow during the wet of the summer. Got a little bit, one lavender plant came up. Few onions, I was disappointed in the onions. A few spinaches, not much going on there. And on the end here at the back, I got rosemary planted or sowed. The front I have oregano sowed. Nothing there, at least so far. It may be that a lot of this stuff just got soaked because of all the rain we've had since I spoke with you last. So there's a few things I'll be able to get in the ground, and I will probably direct sow some more stuff in a few weeks for the fall. Here's the lettuces that I sowed last time using those little peat pellet things, and it's looking pretty good. It's done all right. Here's the butter crunch, red velvet. It's funny how it looks green when it's young still, but it's got a little bit of red in it. Simpson, all doing well. Green ice there. Here's the new variety, Grand Rapids, which looks like it's done very well. And then Paris Island costs the romaine not as well, not doing as well as the rest. I wonder if it's something with romaine lettuce or something, because I had trouble last time with the other lettuce, the other romaine. Anyway, I'm going to put these in when I get rid of all the peas, because the peas are about done, and I'm not going to plant as much as I did in early spring. I'll probably plant either 6 or 8 of each variety, and instead of the 24, because I'm just not going to need that much. Okay, garden tour. These peas, these are the snow peas, they're about done. So I'm going to be yanking these. Garden peas are about the same way. Cabbages are looking nice. Again, some of them are getting a little bit eaten up, but the heads are starting to form very nicely. Kohlrabi looks good. I'll be harvesting at least a few of those today. Can't wait to try those. I don't know what that tastes like. And these down here at the end are salvia. They're flowers. And black-eyed peas, I suppose, are looking nice. Potatoes surprised me a little bit. I sowed about, I think, a dozen small eyes, and wasn't sure I was going to get that much out of them, but I've got 8 coming up. Oh wait, there's another one. There's 2 more. There's 10. Okay, so I got 10. Maybe I planted 14. Red potatoes. So we'll harvest little red potatoes at some point. The dill's coming along nicely. It's really dilly. Here's a broccoli, and you can see a nice head on that one. And again, I'm keeping these sprayed with the BT. Even so, we get some damage. Here's the first of the beets, and I need to try some of those. I got to harvest a bunch of those, and some more perennials out here. Onions are coming along pretty nicely. I have harvested some of those already. I wish that plane would go away. Brussels sprouts are growing nicely. There's some leaves that are really, even though I've sprayed them. Ah, see? You little bugger. Off you go. Come on. Yeah. Death of you. Okay, so I got some more picking to do with the Brussels sprouts. Looking for bugs. Squashes. I got lots of squash. And it's funny, at the beginning of the week here, I trimmed these leaves so they were off the path. Haha. So, I think I've learned I don't have to plant that much squash next time. Again, I'm really surprised that the oregano's coming out. It's delicious, but oregano seeds are like dust. So it was very tough for me to to get anything going, but I'm glad I got that one little plant down there. Basil, we got 4 basil plants doing well. Tomatoes are coming along nicely. Just got to keep an eye on them. There are some in there. Even the marigolds are doing well. Down here are the grape and the cherries, and lots of flowers. So just keep it clean. Finally got the cucumbers moving a little bit. So we'll have some, and there are a bunch of cucumbers in there, a lot of flowers. And over on the last row, spaghetti squashes are looking good, and actually, if you come up here, we got one growing there. Here's another one right there. So I'm pleased with that for sure. Beans, still got lots of flowers on the beans, and they're growing up high already. Okay, last row, the San Marzano tomatoes to start with. The plants are looking healthy. And here's some Romas down here. Romas grow, it's like their branches go really sideways at a 90-degree angle, like a black gum tree, so they're tough to rein in, I'm finding out. And the last of the snaps. I'll grab the last few and pull these out and throw this in the compost bin. In the last week, I've almost had this bin up to here with stuff, and it's already settled quite a bit. And I'm going to add more today because it's time to keep the lettuce young and pick. And obviously stuff's going on because the temperature's up. So we're making some good compost in here. That's all I got from the veggie patch this time. Maybe next time we'll do some bug patrol or something fun. See you then. This is the rain from last night. This is on top of 3/4 of an inch we got late or very early yesterday morning. So we had 2 3/4 inches of rain yesterday alone, which contributed to that 6 inches total since the last time I spoke with you. Here's an interesting problem I have after we get a lot of rain. I can't get in the garden. I really got to yank this sucker hard to open the latch. So sometimes it's like I'm breaking into my own garden to get in. Now I'll still be doing these videos because I enjoy doing that. Ow, it's hot.